Welcome back from that break. Remember that Business Live is brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Now, as part of the Ghana Power Compact, MEDA has announced plans to install energy-efficient streetlights across the country. This was made known at a briefing in Accra on the Energy Efficiency and Demand-Side Management Project.
Under the project, several policy initiatives and programs will be undertaken to ensure energy efficiency and conservation in the use of the available capacity. One of such projects is the installation of energy-efficient street lights in some parts of the capital. This will run at a cost of $22.4 million. Sylvester Ayayi is the project manager.
So what we are doing is we are looking at street lights in Accra East and Accra West. So we have some data from Energy, ECG, and then the Ministry of Energy to look at. So we have a consultant on the ground now who is doing the baseline survey. We want to make sure the street lights that we've been given is what's on the ground, so that when we procure a contractor to do the works, we have the data. So the data will cover street lights that are working, those that are now working, and where are they not working, and then if new ones have to be constructed. So there might be some civil works to go along with the replacement of the street lights. So we want to replace all of them with LEDs.
Okay. And what's the budget or what's the plan? How many street lights do you intend to put up?
So the survey, after it's completed, will tell us the actual number of street lights that will be worked on.
He further outlines some other plans to evaluate energy conservation in the country.
Under the development and enforcement of standards and labels, what we are doing, we are constructing a test facility. The test facility, they are in two components. An AC test facility, which is for air conditioners. At the moment, they have a refrigerator test facility, but we want to construct an AC test facility so that we will be able to test air conditioners before they're being imported into the country. Then existing ones in the country can also be tested just to make sure that they meet minimum energy efficiency standards. And then we're also installing 2 additional test labs. One will be for TVs and electronic gadgets, and then for probably solar products as well.
Through the $498 million compact, the U.S. government is helping the Ghanaian government to transform the power sector through institutional reforms that will provide more reliable and affordable power to Ghana's business and households.
Now, government through the Energy Ministry has embarked on a project to make Ghana a $1 billion petroleum hub. The hub, when completed in 10 years' time, will see Ghana become one of the leading exporters of refined crude in Africa. This was made known at the second edition of the Ghana International Petroleum Conference in Accra. Charles Aite has more in this report.
Addressing some stakeholders attending the second edition of the Ghana International Petroleum Conference in Accra, the Energy Minister, Boakye Ejaku, said government's focus on the energy sector is about exploring ready avenues to making the country a petroleum hub. According to him, the establishment of a petroleum hub within the next decade will complement the policy direction by government to have a new growth pool in the oil and gas sector.
Government is very committed to realizing this vision of making Ghana a petroleum hub. His Excellency the President indicated in his swearing-in speech, we are in a hurry. The numerous policies, projects, and programs launched in the past 19 months since this government assumed office is evident, and the ever-growing investor confidence in Ghana shows that we are making progress. We have been tasked with realizing this vision over a 10-year period.
The government of Singapore has expressed its readiness to partner government in the establishment of a zonal petroleum hub in the country. Senior Director in charge of oil and gas in Singapore, Tan Wee Leon, hinted of Singapore's technical support to Ghana based on the establishment of a petroleum hub which will see Ghana export refined crude oil.
It is our current first encounter with the government of Ghana. We are hoping to work on more details together with them and to also share our knowledge and experience in terms of developing petrochemical industries and petroleum hub concept around the world with them.
Do you think we're on the right path so far?
Most definitely. In fact, having a conference like GIPCOM for industries and the public sector to share ideas is already a good step forward. And with proper planning put in place, I think there will be a lot of so-called ingredients already ready for success.
The establishment of a petroleum hub is a 10-year project under the Ministries of Energy and Finance.
We're still staying with news from the energy sector. Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Senor Jose, is lauding government's termination of the appointment of the Managing Director of Boss Alfred Obeng Boateng. According to him, Boss has in recent times been incurring losses, a situation he believes does not augur well for the economy. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Senor Jose impressed on the new Managing Director, George Mensah Oakley, the need to consider the recommendations in the 2017 industry report to serve as a guide.
I feel sorry for him, but I think that we actually have to generally look at our entire appointing mechanism. How do we try and drive a lot more meritocracy in the appointment system? It has to do with all the state-owned enterprises. Now do we objectively evaluate them? So we can have a thriving industry. Boss is a very, very important industry. It is a key institution that can help change the face of this industry in a constructive way. But it has failed to do so for quite a while now. Boss has been an institution that has rather been burdening the taxpayers' pocket, even though we already pay it over about 100 million cedis every year. You know, you still don't get value for it, and it makes more money out of it. It's always been a problem. So I think that Boss needs some rethinking. Government needs to have a thorough rethinking of where Boss should stand in the scheme of the industry. Our 2017 report has submitted some ideas on what the way forward should be for Boss, and positioning it in a way that it's constructive to industry but not destructive as it seems to have been in the past few years. You know, it's been racking up losses. The current MD came to meet up losses. We can't tell confidently if more has been accrued, but we've heard about that already happening. But whoever is coming back should come with a very clear mind. You have to come and do a constructive thing. There's not a muchandological space for anybody.
We are turning to banking now, and shareholders of Standard Chartered Bank have unanimously approved moves by the board to transfer its 2017 income surplus of 302 million cedis to the stated capital of the bank. This is to help meet the deadline for the minimum capital requirement. The decision was taken after the board made the proposal at its annual general meeting here in Accra. Now, outgoing chairman of the board of directors, Ishmael Yamson, assured the bank will meet the minimum capital requirement before the December deadline. There's more in this report. Every shareholder with 6 existing shares will be given an additional share, even though they won't attract dividend for the 2017 financial year. This follows a decision by the bank to forfeit payment of dividends for the year due to moves to recapitalize. The shareholders have approved that the bank move its 2017 surplus earnings to a stated capital with immediate effect. Here is the outgoing chairman of the board of Standard Chartered Bank, Ishmael Yamson.
The deadline for compliance is 31st December 2018. In order for your bank to meet this requirement, the directors hereby propose that the company transfers the sum of 302 million cedis from income surplus to stated capital. I hereby move that the sum of 302 million cedis be approved to be transferred from income surplus to stated capital to enable your bank to comply with Bank of Ghana's minimum capital requirement. Will somebody please rise and second this motion?
Mr. Yamson explains to Joy Business why he decided to move on from the bank.
The time comes to go, you should go, because everything that has a beginning has an end. But I'm very proud that I'm leaving behind a bank which is strong, which is robust, which has high level of integrity, performing outstandingly. The people of the bank are excited. They really are passionate about what they are doing. And I'm very happy that I'm going at this time. And I'm also happy because the future of the bank looks great.
The bank increased its capital adequacy ratio from 21% to 26%. There was also an increase in share price by 27%, as well as operating income by 9% and a profit before tax of 22%. Now, Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Kofi Yamwa, has said that MTN's decision to list on the local bourse will provide the stock market with good liquidity and at the same time increase the number of retail investors on the market. He was speaking to Joy Business in Accra.
The service sector in this country is the biggest contributor to GDP. And MTN in the telco sector belongs to the services sector. Within the services sector, the telecom subsector is growing rapidly. Up to today, we don't have the telecom sector represented on the exchange. Ideally, for any exchange, it should be a barometer of major economic activities that go on in the country. So if we have this exchange and we don't have the telecom sector represented, then in the context of being a true reflection of all the major economic activities, we're lacking in that regard. Fortunately, we have the biggest player, the market leader in the telecom subsector, agreeing to join the exchange after its successful offer. So first and foremost, we are excited about that. Number two, MTN is, in my view, a very socially responsible company, and if you have the likes of such companies join the exchange, then you must be excited. Number three, the telecom sector has attracted a large number of Ghanaian subscribers. MTN alone has 7 million plus subscribers. And so if in the course of its offer, we can leverage on that to get a minimum of 1 million subscribers out of the 17 million being retail investors on this market, that will bring us a lot of liquidity post listing of MTN. And it's a lot of excitement.
In other news tonight, two brothers are on a mission to give the country's walkways and buildings an authentic look. They're doing so through the use of granite cobblestones. Tonight, we visit Good Heart Quarry and Construction Limited, started by the two brothers a year ago, to learn more about what they are up to. There is just as much gold as there is granite in the country, but granite is least explored. At the North Carnation Industrial Area here in Accra, two brothers are finding use for these granites, turning them into cobblestones for pavements and buildings. There's nothing quite like this in Ghana, and the two brothers, Nana Osei-Aboa and Kweku Osei-Aboa, are paving the way. Nana, an engineer, came up with the idea and got his brother Kweku on board.
This was me sat in a bank dealing with people's monies and millions and all that. And we started projecting what we can do, we started talking about it, and that's where we started the R&D.
Both of them quit their jobs and got trained in making cobblestones from granites. Currently, the most popular form of paving here in Ghana is from concrete blocks. It's expensive and needs replacement every decade or less. What you may not know is that there is granite in abundance here in Ghana. Good Heart mines from multiple locations in the country, including in Sawam and Shai Hills. The granite is then brought to the factory at North Carnation, drilled and run through the stone splitting machines. But what is it about the stone that makes it ideal for pavements?
This stone is very, very abundant in Ghana. Gold mineralization is around this type of stone. Now, Ghana is the only country on this globe that has ever had gold added to its name. So if everybody knows we have gold, then automatically we have very high quality granite. But unfortunately, we've not been looking at it. So this is the opportunity I looked at, went through the country and realized if you go across Ghana, we have about half our landmass sitting on granite. The only industry that comes out of granite is crushing to make chippings for concrete work and for road works. So we didn't want to, quote unquote, join the bandwagon because it's very versatile.
The walkways of most European countries are paved with cobblestones, and they last for decades. And there are quite some remarkable buildings made from cobblestones. The next challenge was marketing the product here in Ghana.
The journey has been very, very interesting, I must say, because we started from a point of view of You are trying to convince somebody to buy into your business, but your business doesn't exist where you are. So everything we're saying was theoretical, videos, pictures. It wasn't hitting home as much, but one thing we realized is most people that have lived outside or lived in places where cobblestone is available caught onto it immediately. Some of them actually said, the first thing they said was, when I built my house, I looked for this material, I couldn't find it here. So these are all things that helped us and pushed us to be able to know that when we do it, we get market.
The brothers have carried out a number of projects, and the recent one being paving the Lashibi funeral home. It's been a challenging first year, and the brothers have had to invest so much in the startup.
Machines are expensive, they're unique machines, and you need certain specific things to be able to deliver this product, as you see behind us. Now, when you look at any financial model, the biggest part of it is to try and understand how your overheads will be less than what you got coming in as cash inflow. And that is what we've worked on for a few years now. We've looked at it. Our pricing is strategically placed so that we can be able to cover our overheads as well as have enough to expand.
As part of plans to expand, Goodheart is seeking support from the One District, One Factory Secretariat. As Nana explains, this has the potential to create jobs and lift many out of poverty and even help in the fight against illegal mining.
90% of people in Galamsey never hold any gold. They go in to carry mud and pick up 20, 30 cedis a day. Now, if these resources are available in those towns, these towns need roads. These towns have teeming unemployed youth. We can tap into the resource which is sitting there already as the stone, add the expertise we have in the machinery, and then create jobs for the people to do jobs of paving within their towns, say communal areas, roads, market centers, lorry stations, etc.
There's also good potential for export. Aside from cobblestones, the brothers are looking into other ways of adding value to granite. What's working for them is teamwork.
We are quite passionate about what we do, and we love knowledge. I mean, I can find him at night at 3 a.m. reading stuff on stone, and I'll get up and say, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, we need to perfect this, and we'll sit down and do it together. So the whole drive, the whole vision, I think we share that vision so perfectly, and it works well.
And to the question of who's the boss on money and the boss on stone.
You're watching Business Live. Time now to bring you our interview of the day. And the Association of Oil Marketing Companies has renewed calls against the illicit sales of fuel in the country. The association earlier contended that profits for its members continue to drop because of the difficulty in repaying their debts to banks as well as meeting the necessary tax obligations. According to Chief Executive of the association, Kwekwa Jumanjia, the situation hasn't gotten any better. He says if any of the association members are found culpable, he won't hesitate to subject them to the full rigors of the law.
I think you should not limit to smuggling, say oil's illegal fuel sales. I mean, looking at fuel which has not gone through the right regime, and that's what we call illegal fuel. So smuggling is just a microcosm of that one, but I think the bigger picture is the illegal fuel sales. It has not gone down. We recognize the efforts that National Petroleum Authority is making, but we still are suffering. In fact, I told I came this afternoon. I was at a program and with my people, and still talking about illegal fuel.
So what more can be done? What can be done in this regard?
It's a concerted effort. I mean, we have said it time, even if we found out that it's our own people who are doing it, would you mind being prosecuted?
And that's our interview of the day. Thanks for watching Business Live. My name is Daryl Kwao. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. This program was brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.